Every great story begins quietly, not with applause, not with fame, not with fireworks, but with a whisper that says, keep going. See, it's easy to start something when you feel inspired. It's easy to dream big when your heart is full of excitement. But the real question, the one that defines your future, is this: can you keep going when nobody's watching? That's where the power of consistency begins. Let me take you into a story. There was a young man named Daniel, ordinary guy. No rich background, no special talent that stood out in a crowd. But he had something most people lose too early: belief. Not belief in luck, not belief in miracles, but belief that if he showed up every single day, something inside him would grow. He wanted to be a writer. Not for fame, not for money, but because words made him feel alive. Every morning before dawn, when the world was silent, he'd sit at a small wooden desk in his apartment. No fancy office, no big audience. Just him, a cheap laptop, and a cup of cold coffee. He promised himself he would write a single page every day. Just one. The first week was easy. The second week was quiet. By the third week, doubt started whispering in his ear. No one's reading your work. Nobody cares. What's the point? And yet, he showed up, not because he felt motivated, but because he had made a decision. That's what most people don't understand. Motivation is a spark, but consistency, that's the firewood. That's what keeps the flame alive when the wind blows hard. Months passed. Daniel had written 100 pages. Still no audience, no recognition. His friends stopped asking how his writing was going. Maybe they assumed he gave up. But every morning he sat down again. One page, one promise, one more step forward. There were days when he felt like he was wasting time, when the cursor blinked at him like it was mocking him, when he'd stare at the same sentence for an hour and think, maybe I'm not good enough. But he wrote anyway. Then came the winter. His heater broke down, and the nights got cold. His hands would shiver as he typed, and the sound of wind outside the window felt louder than his thoughts. He almost quit. Almost. But something inside him said, you didn't come this far just to stop now. And so he kept going. After 2 years of quiet persistence, Daniel finished his first book. He sent it to publishers, rejected, sent again, rejected, sent again, rejected. But instead of giving up, he did what he had always done. He wrote another one, and another, each time better, each time sharper, each time closer to the dream he once whispered to himself. By his fourth book, something changed. A small publishing house decided to take a chance on him. The book was released quietly. No hype, no billboards, just a few printed copies sitting on dusty shelves. Then something unexpected happened. A teacher somewhere read it and recommended it to her students. One student posted about it online. Then 100. Suddenly, Daniel's words started traveling faster than he ever did. Within months, his book reached thousands. Within a year, millions. People called him overnight success. But Daniel knew there was nothing overnight about it. Behind that success were years of mornings when he could have stayed in bed, years of silence, rejection, and doubt. That's what consistency looks like. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't rush, it builds. You see, life rewards the ones who keep showing up, not the ones who start fast and burn out, not the ones who chase every new trend, but the ones who do the same thing day after day with faith and focus. Consistency is boring, it's not glamorous, it's not Instagram worthy. But it's powerful because it transforms you quietly. It sharpens your skills. It builds your discipline. It shapes your character. And that's the truth most people miss. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your habits. Whatever you do repeatedly, you become. Now, some of you might be in that phase right now, working hard, giving your best, and still not seeing results. Maybe you're in your own winter, wondering if all this effort even matters. Let me tell you, it does. Every drop counts. Every rep, every word, every step, every attempt, they're all pieces of the puzzle. The human mind craves instant gratification. But greatness doesn't care about your timeline. It arrives only when you've earned it through persistence. That's why consistency is more powerful than talent. Talent can open a door, but consistency keeps it open. Think about it. Water cuts through rock not because of its strength, but because of its persistence. It keeps flowing day after day, year after year, until the impossible becomes possible. That's what Daniel did. That's what every champion does. And that's what you can do. When people doubt you, keep going. When progress feels invisible, keep going. When nobody claps for you, clap for yourself and keep going. Because consistency is not about being perfect. It's about being committed. And one day you'll look back and realize something magical. It was never the big victories that changed you. It was the small, unseen efforts that nobody noticed. Those mornings you got up early. Those nights you stayed disciplined. Those days you refused to quit. That's where the transformation happened. So wherever you are right now, whether you're building a dream, learning a skill, or fighting your own inner battles, remember this: you don't need to do everything, you just need to do something. But do it every day. Every masterpiece, every empire, every success story, they were all built brick by brick, day by day. The world may not notice your consistency today, but one day it will. And when it does, people will call you lucky, talented, gifted, but you'll smile because you'll know the truth. You weren't lucky. You were consistent. And that's the real power.